I crashed my motorcycle the other day, as you can see, and if you want to know what happened, keep watching this video. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. So here's what happened. I was on my way to work last week. I was driving east at about 7:30 in the morning, so the sun was rising right over the road, which didn't help because then the sun was kind of shining in everyone's eyes, including mine. So I was going through an intersection that was green, the light was green, and the cars had started to back up all the way from the next light up ahead of the intersection that I was going through. So there was 3 lanes, 1, 2, 3. I was in the middle lane. The two outside lanes were still moving, flowing traffic. The middle lane had started piling up like a chain reaction, backing up all the way back to this intersection that I was going through, all the way from the next light. So basically, I didn't realize that in time when I was going through that intersection, because I had barely even made it through that intersection when I realized, shoot, these cars are backed up all the way to this intersection and they're at a complete stop in the middle of the road. So with very little time to react, I start slamming my brakes, flatline braking, start skidding. I don't know exactly why or what happened, but my front tire went out and my bike dumped. So I don't know exactly why or what, or if it was just instinct to lay the bike down, I don't know, but dumped the bike, slid into the back of the car in front of me, and that was that. I honestly think that if I were to have stayed upright and hit the car, it would have been much worse, because I probably would have gotten thrown off of the bike over the handlebars onto the car in front of me, and it would have done a lot more damage to the guy's car as well, whereas laying it down and sliding into the back of the car did way less damage. Probably did more damage to my bike, but I don't know. I think the fact that I was sliding before I hit the car was better. It was very fast. It happened extremely quick, so it's honestly hard to even remember exactly what happened. Whenever anyone asks me what happened, like, it's actually hard to remember, because I just remember going through a green light like normal, and then bam, I'm on the ground next to a car, in the middle of the road. Like, it's insane how fast things can happen. I would have been hurt extremely worse if I was not wearing all of my protective gear. I was wearing a jacket that my wife had bought me that saved my arms for sure. I still got these marks on my arms even through the jacket, but if I wasn't wearing the jacket, I have no idea how bad my arms would have been. If you haven't seen my short that I made about the jacket, go check that out. But yeah, I just want to emphasize real quick how fast stuff can happen. You might think that you are fine with a hoodie and some sneakers and a pair of nice Alpinestars gloves because they look cool. That is not nearly enough to save you from injury in a motorcycle accident. Obviously, a helmet is absolutely bare minimum. You need to be wearing a helmet. I have this AGV 1 helmet that is extremely comfortable. It has all these little vents in it. It looks super cool too, and is all DOT and ECE certified and stuff. So that's a great helmet. Another thing, I'd say the next most important piece of safety gear would probably be footwear, because you don't think of it, but when you hit the ground, your feet and your arms are the first things that hit the ground. So without wearing these, you can see all the scrapes on the top of this metal scraper on my boots from the accident. Feet would have been probably scraped up a lot worse too, and if I was wearing sneakers, it would have just went straight through the sneakers. These are expensive, but you can find cheaper brands. These are not Alpinestars. These are the RST brand that I got. So they're a cheaper version of a nice Alpinestars racing style riding boot. They were, I think, almost $200. I can't remember exactly, but They're nice. And then another thing that's super important is nice gloves. These are nice gauntlet gloves. They go up my wrist a ways, like past my wrist. They have these obviously like hard knuckles and stuff on them for like impact. And then on the palm, they have these little sliding pads on the palm piece. So, you know, a glove like this is awesome. These aren't even that expensive, like $50. I think I got these off like Amazon. And then of course I was wearing that jacket that my wife had just bought me. That thing saved my arms, and yeah, it would have been a whole different story, a whole different day if I was not wearing all of this gear. And I really recommend that anyone who rides a bike, no matter how big or small the bike is, if it's a sports bike, a cruiser, a cross tour, whatever, wear the correct gear, because if you don't and you get in an accident, you're going to wish that you were wearing it, because let me tell you, it is extremely painful when you get some road rash. I got road rash last year from a smaller incident when I was wearing a t-shirt, and my whole entire bottom half of my forearm was just a giant scab, and that was extremely painful. So wear the freaking gear, no matter how expensive and uncomfortable it is. You're going to be thankful that you did. So with that being said, let's check out the full damage that happened to my bike. All right guys, so first off, we got this side of the side fairings. This is the side that was not sliding on the ground, but hit into the car. So obviously these shattered and are broken. Here's a piece of it. This piece is barely hanging on. And this whole coolant reservoir got smushed up, and like the coolant hose popped off, and the whole bracket is all bent. As well as this belly fairing is completely shot. You can see it's cracked all over. This is the side that slid on the road. So you can see it slid and wore a hole right through here. It smushed this all in and ground that down. This piece is pushed in, this bracket is pushed in behind here, so that's gonna suck to get off. You can see this lever is ground there. The rubbers on these grips are kind of tore up a little bit. This front fairing is grinded down here. Blinkers grinded down. This whole thing is all scratched up, obviously. This belly fairing piece actually didn't crack somehow, but it got all scraped up, as you can see. And then this stator cover that I literally just replaced is all scratched to heck, which is just fantastic. These passenger pegs are all scraped up on this side, and this back plastics piece is all scraped up as well. So that is basically it. Considering the nature of the crash, I can't really complain, because it's really not as bad as it could have been. So that is all the damage to my bike. I'm thanking the Lord for protecting me, and that it's not worse, because it could have been much worse. I hope you guys enjoyed that quick video of explaining my crash. Please, please, please wear the right gear and save your life. You know what they say, dress for the slide, not the ride. And that is the truest statement ever. Peace out guys, catch you in the next one. Go eat some watermelon, it's hot out.